somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sex and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuse is any good.
I eat How old are you? 12. Oh, okay. Only to 10.
What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like.
What is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean. That's what it is.
And so to hear people say things that are just crazy, like I'm a part of a cabal and there's a whole conspiracy, which that stuff.
Oprah simply can't catch a break, and she has no one to blame except herself. This lady is going on interviews today alleging that she has been weeping herself to sleep because of the claims surrounding her. But baby, Terrence Howard isn't letting any of that compassion stuff get to him at all, because shortly after she said all this, he came out with his own charges. And it's probably the nastiest thing you'll hear today. He disclosed everything about her, including how she attempted to persuade him to sleep with her, the reality behind her shady all-girls school, as well as how she has supposedly been being paid millions of dollars to damage the careers of black women in the business. Okay, so if you've been on the internet these past several days, then you already know that every celebrity has been being dragged horribly because of the Epstein files. But baby, some of them have clearly been receiving more heat than others. And Oprah is one of the ones people have been going in on. And it's all because at one time in her life she had extremely good friends with individuals like Harvey Weinstein. And then of course there is the all-girls school she constructed in South Africa back in 2007. There's been this insane speculation that the school may have been linked to a similar network that is being disclosed right now. And this plot only gets worse when you find out that other pupils at the school were supposedly reported missing, and they have still not been recovered to this day. Not only that, there were SA claims and even stories of a deceased infant finding in a garbage bin. The school's dorm matron Virginia Tiny Makopo was actually charged with 13 charges of SA and physical assault on 6 female pupils. Mind you, this institution was for girls whose families couldn't afford schooling. They very basically had nowhere else to go. So that is obviously not a good look for Oprah.
Over the past few months, several posters like these have been circulating on social media, with pleas to help find these missing children who have been allegedly kidnapped. Communities and civil society organizations believe that the issue of kidnapping is getting out of hand.
That was my biggest life secret, and I lived in such fear of that secret coming out. It was my great life shame. I thought, oh my God, I'm a national television personality. If that ever came out, my God, people are gonna hate me. They're gonna think this, they're gonna think that.
But it doesn't stop there. In fact, individuals uncovered some things that indicates to Oprah also reportedly being engaged in consumption ideas. If y'all recall, there was this entire conspiracy theory going on back in the day about elites being part of a cult that loved to nibble on, you know what, to retain their power and control as some kind of ritual. Now, of course, it was largely the Clintons being accused of this, but some people suspected that other celebrities were involved too. Well, fast forward to 2026, and the Epstein files have pretty well proved that this horrible crime was in fact occurring. In reality, someone did some further investigation, and they identified many examples of celebrities excessively obsessing about pizza. Except now, we know the pizza they were talking about may not just be pizza.
What's your favorite comfort food?
Cheese!
My comfort food. Oh boy, pasta!
Her parties are incredible at her house, too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza,
Wonderful pizza. All right, just
For years, there has been a long-standing conspiracy theory that Hollywood and the elites harvest the blood of young people and transfuse it in order to reverse age. And now the Epstein files might have revealed that that is in fact true. In this email to Jeffrey Epstein, it says, all you need is a blood transfusion from the pack and you reverse aging. This is where adrenochrome comes into play. It is a real chemical compound found in the when the body is in a fight or flight situation. And we know that the kids that were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's network were definitely put into fight or flight. And of course, we've seen Hollywood elites like Chrissy Teigen tweet about how they're going to a party where they're serving up 4-year-old cheese pizza with adrenochrome and of course the eye emoji. And according to the FBI code words, cheese stands for little girl and pizza stands for girl. Now back to the email. The subject is Dr. Agus, a professor of medicine and biomedical engineering at USC, pretty local to Hollywood. He is also the founding director and CEO of the Ellison Medical Institute. You know, the medical institute funded by Larry Ellison, the new owner of TikTok. And he's also hosted a Paramount show with big celebs like Ashton Kutcher and Oprah Winfrey. If you know, you know.
And just when we thought things couldn't get much worse, Terrence also jumped into the discussion and revealed significant beans about how Oprah has supposedly damaged the careers of a number of black musicians, including his own. Apparently, this is really what caused their quarrel in the first place. Now, just for a little bit of perspective, their dispute began when they both acted in the 2013 movie The Butler. In the movie, they had a super spicy moment that had people talking for months. During the press run for the picture, this was all the interviewers kept bringing up, and Terrence was glad to speak about it. He stated he liked shooting the personal sequences with Oprah, and that getting to work closely with her was great.
To be able to make out with Oprah, to have love scenes with her and those tiggle bitties. I mean, she's such a lovely, voluptuous woman. So being able to, she's very, very, very beautiful, and that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
A lot of fans weren't feeling this at all, since they believed he was being rude to Oprah. But Oprah herself didn't appear disturbed by Terrence rambling on about all that. Listen, Oprah even intimated she'd be interested in some private time with Terrence if he was up for it.
I would have loved to have been rolling in the sheets with Terrence. I'd like to give that a try one afternoon.
Word on the street is Terrence didn't hesitate to call Oprah out when he realized she was out here damaging careers, particularly when she purportedly blackballed Taraji, when she spoke out about being underpaid for the color purple asterisk. Apparently, Terrence was more angered by the fact that she had done this to a slew of other black performers merely to placate her white audience. And every time she's called out for it, she made it appear like they were making it up. If y'all recall, she and 50 Cent got into it over this, and he stated, "I believe she caters to elderly white ladies. Oprah's audience is my audience's parents. So, I couldn't care less about Oprah or her program. She was utterly against anything that was in my music. So she ain't never going to have me on that program. I'm never going to achieve that platform, which is validation of you being a great success." So I simply responded, "Okay, if we can't be friends, then at least let's be enemies. I'm really better off having friction with her."
Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name is?
And Gail. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the party.
7 months ago, we made sure, I already knew, that Diddy and Oprah is about to get arrested.
Monique, why is she canceled? I had to revisit that because it was like, it didn't make sense to me, babe. I'm like, so what did she do? She said something you didn't like? So she didn't work for 13 years after that?
Right.
After Luda's predicament, people began bringing up Dave Chappelle, since Oprah had pulled something pretty similar with him. After his legendary $50 million agreement with Comedy Central fell, there were suspicions that Comedy Central purportedly sought to take him out. So, when he came down with Oprah for an interview, she just kept pushing this entire narrative that he was this crazy man who was making things up just to get attention.
Saying that you had become increasingly paranoid. Would you say you were paranoid?
Sure. First of all, what is a black man
without his paranoia attack. You might win $100 in a poker game and be on the subway. You're gonna look over your shoulder. They just said in everything I had $50 million. That's like making me a marked man.
So did you go to a psychiatric hospital?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Who is me? I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid, like, you know.
But you were stressed out. That's why.
There's no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you.
Lately, a lot of noise has been gathering around Oprah, and it is not the sort that dissipates quietly. Comedians like Cat Williams have been dropping warnings, and now others are suggesting 50 Cent would be next in line to speak out. Whether you believe it or not, the pattern has people talking, and once the topic begins, it tends to develop rapidly.
Something strange is going on with Oprah Winfrey's South African school for girls.
Go look and see what happened to them girls.
So Oprah opened the school all the way back in 2007. And since the school's opening, it has been marred with many different controversies. You see, shortly after the school opened, a matron of the school was charged with touching several of the girls in a very inappropriate manner. When the crime eventually came to light, Oprah herself went to fire the school's head mistress. Then, in another incident that happened in 2011, law enforcement investigated the body of a newborn that was found in one of the students' bags. Apparently, one of the girls at the school gave birth, but there were no charges filed against her after this incident. There were also other scandals the school was involved in, like in 2009 when 7 students were suspended for harassing their classmates. And now there's a new scandal that the school is known for, as many people online have started spreading rumors that girls are disappearing from the school. According to these rumors, several students from the school have gone missing. But as of right now, nobody is sure why these rumors have started, as there is currently no news reporting that there have been missing girls at Oprah's school. Regardless, these rumors have managed to go viral all over TikTok and Twitter, and they continue to be spread to this day.
Then 50 Cent interrupted the discussion, and that is when things became louder. According to him and others, Oprah has had a lengthy history of impeding or damaging the careers of select black performers while safeguarding her own place at the top. He has referred to many public instances as evidence that this is not simply a coincidence. To understand why 50 has such strong sentiments, you have to go back to the commencement of his career. When he was rising quickly, he wanted to sit down with Oprah for an interview. The aim was simple: show people he was more than his history and explain his path. Oprah apparently wants nothing to do with it. She did not like his music, did not like his persona, and did not want him on her platform.
Yeah, I really don't care about Oprah Winfrey or how Sharpton did things. I think that's the point when you're detached and you don't actually understand the environment anymore. I think they've reached that point. When they look at me like I'm supposed to be detached because I made a few dollars, they're really detached. I don't even think Oprah Winfrey is a black woman. I think she's a white woman. She's been catering to a demographic of middle-aged white women for a long period of time. And I think when you act as if for long periods, you become as if. And I think our views are similar to Bill O'Reilly's. I'm not sure what direction leaders should actually be focusing on. And if I knew that, I would be the biggest black leader around. To be honest with you, I think the impression that's made by the actual success of an artist that comes from where I come from is so inspiring that it creates what hip-hop is. It creates what, like a magic. It makes the American dream believable. That you can come from nothing and amount to everything. The imaginations.
50 did not take it lightly. He publicly insulted her, stating her audience did not represent individuals like him or his followers. He stated she spoke to a different population and that she rejected what his music represented. Instead of backing down, He concluded confrontation worked better for him than quiet. Eventually, the interview occurred, but not because Oprah wanted it. Industry pressure and ratings made it inescapable.
Out like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, May 24th, she was bent over actually planting flowers in the garden, and I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in, and the car pulled up. On the side of us, a guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car.
What does it feel like to be shot? Is it a physical feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after.
Did you feel the first one or the ninth one?
I don't even know. I didn't know my legs were broke.
Really?
When I tried to get out the car at the hospital, both of my legs were broke. Like I broken 3 places on this side and then...
Where were you shot?
In my hands, my legs several times, like 5 times in my hands, and then in my legs, and then in my face.
Other artists quickly experienced similar experiences. Ludacris stated he went on Oprah's program to promote a movie, but instead of concentrating on the film, the subject switched to evaluating his music. He then claimed sections of his answer were cut out, making him appear unprepared and silent when he had spoken up.
Have you made it to Oprah yet?
Have I made it to Oprah? I've been on Oprah a long time ago.
Okay, so,
I haven't made it back, but I was on there one time. I'll tell you.
How did it go? How did it go?
You know what? We talking about the first time I was on?
The first time he was
You
on
didn't
Oprah.
see it?
No, I missed this
You
one.
didn't hear about it?
Is this the one about the N-word?
No,
This was about the movie. I do remember.
Yeah.
She cut you off.
Right.
She cut you. She edited out what you had to say.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That's what it came down to. That was the only time I was on Oprah.
Okay, and then...
Now, whether we get invited back or not,
Did you call and say, why did you edit me, Oprah? Those who listening, trying to figure out what was it.
It was a lot of it was certain comments that she had made about, I was there for a crash for the movie.
Yeah.
And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. You didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my music.
Right.
So it was a lot of comments that actually basically she was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal, and when I saw the final show, her comments were in there.
Right, was in there, but yours wasn't in there.
And mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it.
Wow.
Like was just quiet and didn't
Yes,
say
ma'am.
I did.
Yes, Mother Oprah. Yes.
Nah, but I have a lot of respect, of course, for Oprah. I don't see how anyone can't have respect for Oprah. What she's accomplished in her lifetime, I just think that we came to a disagreement about something. And you can have loved ones, you have family members, you have friends, you have arguments, and you disagree, and sometimes you agree to disagree.
Still, the encounter left many spectators uneasy. By this moment, a pattern was establishing in the public eye. Each time a successful Black artist sat across from Oprah, somehow the attention switched away from their talent and toward criticizing their character or choices. Critics claim this helped maintain Oprah's image with her audience while hurting the reputations of others. In fact, she even once attempted calling Prince odd to his face, only for Prince to slap back hard.
Watch how Prince responded to Oprah calling him weird on TV, and what he said to Oprah in the end really made me think.
Like go to the mall?
Last time I went to the mall, I took about 400 people out with me, so I don't do that much.
Really? Do you do like what we would perceive to be normal everyday stuff? Are you always this pretty? I know you must perceive yourself as being different. Have you ever perceived yourself as being weird in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand everything's relative, not weird to me.
Yeah, and you're living in Minneapolis of all places.
Minneapolis, yeah. I will always live in Minneapolis.
You will always live there? Why?
It's so cold, it keeps the bad people out.
I believe that.
What formerly felt like serious questions suddenly seemed to some like setups. That is why Cat Williams' warning stung so strongly.
Probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to Black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer's over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still gonna be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity.
And according to many online, if 50 Cent chooses to completely unload what he claims to know, the narrative may just be getting started. The hostility over Oprah did not end with rappers and comedians. Actresses also started speaking out, and that is when the subject turned from unpleasant interviews to genuine industry power issues. Taraji P. Henson stunned many people when she talked out about being underpaid for big jobs, including a well-known film production tied to Oprah. Later, during an interview with Oprah's close friend, Gayle King, Taraji grew tearful and said she had pondered about leaving acting completely. That moment reminded many of Monique, who has been open for years about her own trauma. She has claimed she was locked out of chances after declining to take part in unpaid marketing for a film she was barely paid for. According to her, she was deemed tough for maintaining her position. While many in the business sat quiet, 50 Cent openly backed her, complimenting her skill and demanding for apologies from important players. He even stated he hoped to assist bring her career back to the forefront.
Monique, why is she canceled? And then I know Tyler wouldn't support that. He never told nobody not to work with her. When I talked to him, he was like, nah, I never told no one not to work with her. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone to work with her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I never looked at it like that. Because I said, you just got to consider how strong your influence is at that point.
Could 50 be attempting to resurrect her career for a documentary exposing Oprah? It's not out of the horizon of possibilities. Then there is the problem of Oprah's long-standing contacts in Hollywood. 50 has referred to her prior ties with persons who subsequently become problematic.